So I've been with the Walt Disney Company 13 years. My title is General Manager, Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment International. That the first and most important one was by far humility. I think that I've improved and progressed all along my career because I've tried my best to always remain incredibly humble, and I think this is what has allowed me to keep learning day after day, challenge after challenge, country after country, what I'm doing today. So I do manage all of international for Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment, which is about 25 countries where we have a self-distribution office and 70 countries where we operate with a licensing model. And I've learned to be very persistent. I've been in multiple times in situations where my career did not progress as quickly as I would have liked, and I could have very easily given up or moved on to another company or another career, but I decided to stick with it and to ride the highs as well as the lows, and in these very difficult and challenging times to just be patient and wait for better times. So very surprisingly, one of the setbacks that I experienced in my career came after one of the most biggest achievements I got at Disney. I got promoted very early on in my career to be the head of business development for the studios, which was a new department created. Unfortunately, the timing was not very good because it was in 2000, before the internet world collapsed, and I went from being in this unbelievable position with tremendous exposure all the way to the CEO of the company, to a position where all projects that I was working on got put on hold, and because of the challenging times I was asked to lay off every single individual in my group. I got lucky enough to stay with the company in these very difficult times, mostly because of the relationship that I had built across the entire company. And these people stepped up for me in these very difficult times when people were discussing completely eliminated my department and my function. So when I experienced that setback, it took me another 4 years to get promoted and get to the next level. And that's when I learned that sometimes you can get 2 promotions very quickly, and sometimes you may have to wait 4 to 5 years for the next one. And that is okay too. So 2 things I would say. My desire to keep on learning and bettering myself on an ongoing basis. And the second thing that helped me tremendously through my careers was to devote maybe 10 hours a week networking, either through breakfast, lunches, attending organization and industry events. But I've realized that you cannot just rely on doing a good job and having your boss step up for you. You have to create your own network, because one day these people will need you and will help you. The best way to transition to a US or international career is, one, to pick a field where it is easier to transition. So if you're going to be in finance, accounting or strategic planning, it's going to be easier than if you work in a field that requires a better mastering of the language. So to achieve my dream, which was to work for a big US media company, I felt that the first and the easiest step was to gain experience with companies that have a pedigree in the US. So that is the reason why I decided to work with firms such as Booz Allen & Hamilton and Citibank. The second thing that I did was to choose a finance path, because finance is an international language, and I knew that the transition in finance would be easier than in marketing or HR. And finally, I decided to go and get my MBA in the US, which is one of the easiest ways to transition to another country with having your own company transfer you.